Greetings. The doctor is in. Let's begin. My apologies for being tardy this day. I was making the transition from, Twitch to YouTube because, yeah, it was its own thing. I didn't have to keep, yada, yada, yada. Figured it out because now it works. So, on the plus side, I'm totally de-stressed and feeling pretty good about myself. Yeah, feeling pretty good. I'm just gonna give it a little bit more time for room for people to kind of join in. Get those numbers up. Mm-hmm. All right, that worked out very nicely, right? Okay, cool. We're just gonna just kind of wait on that for a little bit. Happy Friday Eve, everybody. Wishing you the best of times, and yeah, that's it. Best of times. It's Friday Eve. It's good to stretch. Stretch right now. I'm gonna wait just about another 30 seconds. So, before we really get into the key topic of the day, and I'm just gonna cube mode it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, this is a lot of work. Oh, I'm getting a little bit short of breath. Woo! Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right, de-stressed. All right, doing pretty good. Pretty good so far. Let's go human. Let's go humanoid. Yes, humanoid form. All right. Well, with that said and done, before we begin, as always, before beginning, you may comment as needed, and I will do my absolute best to read your comments at the end of each of the individual sections. So do not ignore anything. I do take it very seriously to read anyone who makes comments and or follows. I will give shout outs. It's what I do. Okay. Okay. Welcome to the only presentation where crying, screaming internally, and questioning your life choices are all part of the healing process. So, let's talk about men's mental health because, bottling it up hasn't exactly been a good vibe, you know? Ah, yes. Men and emotions. Like oil and water. If water was shame and oil was repressed childhood trauma, let's see why your average man would rather fight a bear than admit he's sad. So let's talk about something we're really good at pretending doesn't exist. Men's mental health. Most people don't notice when men are struggling because it doesn't look the way they expect. No, they don't have any breakdowns. There's no tearful Instagram posts. It's just silence. Maybe some irritability, exhaustion, having long drives with the music too loud and with thoughts even louder. Men don't always say they're not okay. They show it in ways that, no one's been taught to recognize. All right. Let me hit you with a scary stat. Men die by suicide 3.5 to 4 times more often than women. Let that sink in. Not because men suffer more, but because they reach out less and are able to hide it better. Because depression doesn't always feel like sadness in men. It shows up as anger, fatigue, irritability, silence, and yes, even physical pain. Yeah, those backaches and stomach problems you've been feeling might actually be emotional. Because your body keeps the score, even if your brain pretends everything is fine. Everything's on fire, but it's fine. The meme. And, well, that's the danger. When you're suffering, but you can't name it, it's almost impossible to get help. Mhm. And here's the trap we get caught in. We're taught that crying is weak and being silent and stoic is strong. So, when a man withdraws, we don't say he's depressed. People just say he's moody or tired. And when such a man snaps over nothing, people say he has anger issues, when actually it's anxiety. Eventually, this all gets to a point that even the man himself starts to believe that nothing's really wrong and he just needs to tough it out. Be a man. Shame tactics. Society society doesn't always recognize when a man is mentally unwell. If a woman cries, she's hurting. If a man withdraws and stops talking, yeah, you get the idea. Wow. But, thing is, you're not actually weak for struggling. You're not broken for, having a heavy burden. You're a human. It's perfectly logical. Makes perfect sense. In that fight you've been carrying alone, you're not the only one in it. So really, if any of this hit you, even just a little bit, um, you know, don't leave yet. Please just stick around. We're just getting started. In the next part, in the next part, we're diving into why this struggle even exists. You'll see, it didn't start with you. Oh, well, that's up right there. Okay. Well, rephrase for a second. And, well, here's something nobody wants to admit. Men are more likely to end up isolated, especially after divorce, job loss, or when the kids grow up and move out. They lose their identity, sometimes their entire sense of purpose. And what does society say? Well, society says you're privileged. Even as he's sitting alone in an empty house with bills stacking up and no one to call. And while women may attempt suicide more often, men die by it more. Because when men make that choice, they're more likely to follow through. So, whatever a man says they're going to do, they're more likely to do it. I'm not exaggerating when I say that there is an epidemic of male suicide. And most people never even see it coming. So, if you've ever felt that, wait, even for a second, you are not alone. This isn't just your story. It's a pattern and it can be interrupted. So please stick around cuz next we're going to go back to where it all started. The way boys are taught to survive by staying silent. Any questions, comments or concerns regarding? Mhm. Cuz that's a nice little general overview of what we have seen so far. Not bad actually if I do say so myself. Mhm. Hmm. That's odd. Oh, I get it. I get it now. Hi, Ona. Thank you for joining the stream. Sorry your chat is not showing on mine. I sort of messed that up. Hey, first time on YouTube. I like to think I'm doing pretty good so far. I guess I'll have to work that out later. Okay. Ooh, did not mean for that to happen. All right. No, any questions, comments, or all right, moving on. Oh, good. Remember being a little boy and stubbing your toe, only to be told real men don't cry? Cool. Now you're a grown man whose default emotion is tight jaw and saying, it's whatever. So let's unpack where the damage all started. So, you're probably thinking, okay, I get it. Guys are struggling. But why, you may be asking? And the answer is simple. Because society raised us to fail emotionally. We just didn't realize it at the time. Let me paint a glorious picture for you here. A 5-year-old boy falls down and cries. What does he hear? From all the adults, and probably some of the kids around the room, they probably say something like, you're okay. Don't cry. Be a big boy. This all translates into stuff that emotion back in your chest where it belongs and act like it never happened. Funny part is, that little boy, he listens because boys learn pretty fast. Yes, they learn that crying gets you teased, not comforted. That if you get hurt, you better shake it off before anyone notices. That anger is acceptable, but fear, oh wow, fear makes you look soft and weak. So, what do little boys do then? They build emotional armor. Not because they want to, even though it could be pretty cool, but because they have to. If being vulnerable gets you punished, well, you stop being vulnerable. And that armor, it gets heavier the older you get. You add more layers to it. Sure, it looks cool, but it's gonna get a lot heavier to move around in that thing. Alright, let's fast forward to adulthood now. That same boy is now a man. And he's being praised for being stoic, the strong, silent type. Independent and tough. You know, he's keeping his feelings to himself, takes care of everyone else, and doesn't ask for anything. That's the mold. That is the mold. And if you want to break it, well, you risk being called weak, soft, or, worst of all, emotional. A drama king, in fact. The messed up part is shame becomes the default. Even when you need help, you feel guilty for needing it. It's like trying to swim with chains on your legs, then blaming yourself for not making it to shore. You're gonna sink with those chains on you, especially if they're iron, pure iron. So kind of thinking about it, this is the water we grew up in. It sort of makes sense why so many men are drowning silently in it. But hang tight. Next, we're going to break down what that emotional error actually looks like in real life. Spoiler warning, it's not as bulletproof as it seems. Before all that, though, questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments section. Yeah, I know, it's incredible when you really think about how young boys have been raised. Well, not just the young boys, but, all the other, also the women on how they treat the young boys, all the girls. Really, it is society. It's society. It shaped it. At the end of the day, I like to think it all comes back down to the home, where most things start from. I get it. I get it. This is just one of those. I understand why it all happens. I understand it. Yet I kind of don't like it. That sort of makes sense. A lot of the cool superheroes are always stoic and silent anyway, so that's also influential on all of us. All right, let us move on to the next. Let's move on. Why am I doing that? mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Yes. The male starter pack. Silence, sarcasm, and pretending that rage is a personality trait. Let's look at how men cope with pain by running from it in work boots. Oh, wait, I don't think I said that right. Let's look at how men cope with pain by running from it in work boots. That was much better. So, by now we know the system's broken. We've trained to bury emotions, avoid vulnerability, and walk it off like we didn't just emotionally sprain our souls. But here's where it gets interesting. When men aren't allowed to feel, they improvise. That's the beauty of improvisation. Improv, you don't even know how to do it to do it. They build what I like to call emotional armor. Coping tools that look strong on the outside, kind of cool, but are actually just duct tape and cardboard on the outside. That's what they really look like. Cardboard and duct tape. Very fragile. Very leaky. Ah, it does not work. hmm Let's talk about the usual suspects. A lot of guys don't cry. They just work 70 hours a week and call it hustling. Some guys don't talk about their fears. They just drink a little more or spend 10 hours gaming, all night long. Some men don't talk about grief. They just say, I'm fine, while rage texting their group chat over fantasy football. Why? Well, because that stuff works. Kinda. It numbs the pain. Gives you a sense of control. It keeps the mask on, or in this case, the armor on, but it also wears you down. And eventually, that mask, that armor, doesn't fit anymore. You start snapping at people for absolutely no reason, ghosting friends, zoning out mid conversation, because it's taking everything you have just to keep that inner pressure from blowing. Anger covers sadness, sarcasm covers fear. True words. And here's the part that no one talks about. Men are lonely. It's not, oh, I wish I had a girlfriend lonely. I mean, deep soul level. No one really knows me kind of lonely. Most adult men don't have close friends they can be emotionally honest with. If they do hang out with guys, it's usually side by side, not face to face. You talk about sports, games, anime, work, but never yourself. And the older you get, that loneliness, it grows, especially after breakups, fatherhood, job loss, moments when you need connection the most. But by then, the armor, that emotional armor, is so thick, you've forgotten how to take it off. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. If this is hitting home, even just a little bit, I want you to pause and ask yourself, what's your emotional armor? Is it work, humor, avoidance? Well, whatever it is, it served you once, but it might be time to loosen the straps and start taking it off. Let me know in the comments. We got time. Also, a water break, you know? Saratoga spring water. Perfectly paired. Yes, I sound fancy like this now, and I love it. Oh, yes. Yes, indubitably. I love it. Yes, indeed. Hmm. Whoop. Ah, cube. I feel so cute like this. Mm-hmm. Love it. Absolutely love it. But this is tough. I'm gonna be real. A lot of this it does actually hit home. Sort of feel like this myself sometimes. Trying to always, I guess it helps to put a name to it. That definitely helps. No questions or comments? Excellent. Excellent. Moving on. One moment. Ah, there we go. Almost had you there, didn't I? Hmm. Well, if therapy's for the weak, then so is literally every anime training arc ever. Let's talk about why asking for help isn't a glitch in masculinity, but in fact the ultimate boss move. Alright, we've talked about the struggle, the silence, and the emotional armor. So here's the next logical question. Why don't men get help? I mean, guys will lift heavy things for fun, lifting up, put them down, and walk off injuries like video game characters, and learn 40 different grill techniques or golf swings, but admit they need a therapist? Oh, perish the thought. That crosses a line for some reason. So, let's dig into that, shall we? Mm, nice and simple, you know? There's this myth that needing help means you're weak and pathetic. Like, if you were really strong, you just tough it out. Be a man. But let's be honest, how's that working out for you? You know, most men avoid therapy because, well, they think they'll be judged. They believe talking won't help. Or worse, they feel like they shouldn't need help. They are undeserving of it. That last one actually is dangerous. It's not just pride, it's shame wearing pride as a disguise. Eh, and society doesn't help with that either. We don't exactly hand out awards for emotional honesty. We praise the guy who's never complains, while ignoring the fact that he hasn't slept in months and cries in his car during lunch breaks. Hmm. But he got work done. Here's the truth. Therapy is not about showing weakness. It's emotional strength training. It's not about sitting on a couch, sobbing for an hour. It's about finally putting language to the chaos that is in your head. It's about learning how to set boundaries without guilt, feel anger without exploding, name sadness without shame, and heal without hiding it. And if therapy isn't your jam yet, that's okay. Help can start small. Journaling, reading, group chat, circles, men's circles. What matters is that you start somewhere. Actually, actually, a good place to start is with NAMI. No, not that NAMI. I'm talking about the National Alliance on Mental Illness. It has a lot of local chapters around and has free mental health resources, specifically for men who know something's wrong but they feel stuck. And the people there won't judge. They'll point they'll point you in the right direction even if you're not ready for full-on therapy yet. Though that's what I know. If you know any other organizations or men's circles, comment on it. Someone else can really benefit from it. Comments, questions, or concerns, please do let me know. I'm just gonna have another drink of water for a second. Good stuff. Water is delicious. I recommend it to everybody. Replace your soda with it. One, two, three. Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Don't worry. This isn't a reading list for sad boys. These book might these books might not give you abs, but they will slap your emotional wall with a hard cover. All right. Maybe you're not ready to call a therapist, and well, that's okay. But if you're the type to say, I'll figure it out myself, cool, cool. Here's how you do that without spiraling into a YouTube rabbit hole called How to Alpha Male Your Way Out of Sadness. We're going to talk about 3 books that actually understand men's mental illness, mental health. We're going to talk about 3 books that actually understand men's mental health. No fluff, no fake positivity, just raw truth. Useful tools, and, a few wake up calls. Slaps to the face, as it were. All right. First up, No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. This book rips the mask off a very specific kind of man, the people pleaser who hides his pain behind being the good man, the good guy. If that sounds like you, Glover breaks it down by talking about emotional suppression, approval seeking, and hidden anger because, well, you're not actually nice, you're scared. You avoid conflict to feel safe. You feel anxious and resentful, and you probably don't know why. Glover teaches how to express your anger in healthy ways, reclaim your identity, and stop handing out emotional discounts hoping someone loves you for it. This book doesn't coddle you. It calls you out so you can get your power back. Get on your own 2 feet. Smack some sense into you. Next up, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. And yeah, he's controversial, but if you strip away the internet noise, the psychology in here is solid. Cube solid. Nice. This book is like a personal trainer for your soul. Peterson doesn't sugarcoat it. Life is suffering. Order fights chaos. Meaning comes from responsibility. If you feel lost, overwhelmed, or stuck in a cycle of, why even bother mentality, this book hands you a rope and says, climb. It's not light reading, but it speaks to men who carry the weight of the world and don't know how to put it down. Ah, the last one. King, warrior, magician, lover. This one's different. It's not about tips. It's about archetypes. 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 What is wrong with me right now? It's about archetypes. It's about archetypes. Jeez, what is wrong with me right now? Ugh, tongue, words. I don't even have a tongue, and this is ridiculous. It's about archetypes. Archetypes. It's about archetypes. Okay, we're gonna go with that. It says every man has these four energies inside, and when they're out of balance, your mental health tanks. The king gives you confidence and stability. The warrior brings purpose and focus. The magician sees patterns and solutions. The lover connects emotionally and creativity. Here's the catch. If these get warped, you end up as the tyrant, the addict, the manipulator, or the coward. This book is about integration, about becoming whole, not perfect, not macho, muy macho. No, just emotionally mature. So, if therapy feels like too big of a step, start here. These books are like flashlights in a dark cave. And right now, even a little light can change everything. Comments, questions, concerns? Or, which one of these books do you want to pick up? Drop it in the comments. I kind of like the King, Warrior, Magician, Lover one. That sounds like a good one. I sort of feel like I lean towards the Magician if I had to pick one. Maybe that's why I'm out of balance. Maybe I'm the manipulator. Or maybe the tyrant, because I do like to think I have great confidence in myself and stability. Maybe I'm the tyrant. Maybe I'm a tyrant manipulator or a tyrant magician. That'd be cool. That'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting D&D character. Anyway. All right, moving on. Oh, drink water. Good. Mhm. Masculinity isn't broken. It's just been put in the corner like a dog that growled too loudly. Let's talk about why being a man is fine, actually. You don't need to fix it, just stop apologizing for it. Let's clear something up. Masculinity doesn't need to be redefined. It's not broken, it's not toxic by default. What's broken is the narrative about masculinity. You've got one side telling men to man up and shut up, and another side saying masculinity is a threat to society. Meanwhile, most men are just trying to get through the week without completely falling apart. And I got no time for this. Hmm. Real masculinity has always been about discipline, responsibility, purpose. It's also about having the courage under pressure and being able to sacrifice for others, particularly those you love and who love you back. It's about being the person others can rely on. Not because you're cold or emotionless, but because you have your values anchored. You lead by example, protecting, providing, and guiding. And when masculinity is rooted in truth and it's not twisted, it builds families, protects communities, and leads with honor and dignity. One of the biggest lies men are fed is that you constantly have to prove that you are a man. You know, make more money, lift more stuff, own more things, sleep with more, If you're a man, you have a high body count. Yeah, sure. It honestly never ends. You could have a more. It's just the idea is you have to have more of everything. Here's the truth: masculinity isn't earned by performance or clout chasing. It's lived through character. It's about integrity. You need self-respect, discipline, and the courage to take responsibility for your life, even when it's hard. No, there are no explanations needed there. So, do not shrink who you are to fit what others want you to be. Masculinity is not the problem, it's part of the solution. So, stand on it, own it, and let the world adjust. And that's my take on it. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know. All right, one more water break. The hydration is key to all things. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hmm. And now for the part of where I get soft. Don't panic. I'm not crying. You're crying. So let's wrap this up by remembering why none of us were meant to do this alone. So what now? We've talked about the silence, the pressure, the old wounds. We've taken off the armor, even just a little. But if you're still thinking, okay, but what do I do with all of this? I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. Seriously, you are not alone. Even if it feels like it, even if no one's said it before, even if you've been carrying things so long you forgot what it feels like to set them down, you're not alone. So, on that, let me tell you, let you know what? Let me be the one to say if let me whew, wow, this is getting yeah, I am getting soft. No, I'm not crying. You're crying. Let me be the one to say it if no one else has to you before. And that is, you matter. Your life matters. Your pain matters. And your healing matters. You're not weak for feeling overwhelmed in your day to day. You are not broken for having dark days. You are human. And you are still worth showing up for. Okay? Talking might save your life or someone else's. Even just a little makes all the difference. And no, you don't have to fix it all today, all those things today. You don't need some grand transformation overnight. You just need one step. And that might look like texting someone and saying, hey, Can we talk? Writing down what you're really feeling for the first time, in a journal or diary. Watching this stream without skipping the hard parts, I'd appreciate that. Or just saying out loud, I'm not okay, because that counts too. Just even acknowledging that you're not okay counts. And yeah, it'll feel weird. Vulnerable. Vulnerability makes us all feel weird. Maybe even weak. Not good enough. That's okay. Asking for help is one of the strongest things a man can do. Not because it's easy, but because it's real. You don't have to do it all. You just have to not do it alone. Because healing isn't a solo mission. It's a team sport. And the second you reach out, you're already winning. Thank you for joining me today. Any questions, comment on the stream in general? Let me know in the comments below. I've got time. All right. Well, that was fun. I felt pretty good presenting all that information. I hope everyone took a little bit from that. Sorry about the chat situation. Ooh, wow. First time on you doing a stream on YouTube. So I'll definitely get the kinks worked out. As I should. Oh boy, I really should. Anyway, when it comes down to it, I honestly thought that was gonna work. Well, I plan on do these kind of streams every week on Thursdays, if work does not get in the way. But it always gets in the way one way or another. With that said, please do check out the rest of my YouTube channel, as it contains similar content related to mental health, how to make yourself feel better, and even various foods. Foods that could actually boost your brain power. One of the most recent ones I have is mushrooms. Do they boost your memory? I'll never tell, except in the video. And please do join me and several other Slime VTubers for a Among Us collab, where your friendly neighborhood medical Dr. Slime will heal people. I heal their bodies from their souls with stabby stab. Knowing me, I'm probably not going to get imposter, but you never know. Anyway, take care. The doctor is out.